Hey everybody, it's Greg Schnell. I'm here with your Daily 5. And we got a tough market here rocking back and forth, pulls down 5%, bounces up 3%. Starting to see the volatility rise. It's not really something that makes it easy. Typically, wind at the back investing usually has lower volatility and we don't get these kind of wicked swings week to week. So I wanted to stay away from the frothy names, that's for sure, and look at some of the other names that I think could perform pretty well, even if the market was to sell off tech a little bit just due to overvaluation. If that was the case, I still want to find some other names that look like they're set up well, and in this case, I think we found a few. So my first example would be Boeing. Listening to Phil LeBeau yesterday, he mentioned they had over 100 new airplane orders since the beginning of the year. So in 60 days, they've already picked up over 120 planes. That's a rate of progress you like to see. And they were buying the MAX, which is very interesting. So the plane with all the detail, all the past history that they were trying to fix. So here's the PPO, and what we find is the PPO was very oversold, came up, and has just gone sideways here right around zero. And I particularly like this consolidation, so we're very close to one-year highs here. On Boeing, it'll any sort of a push over the next week, just as this chart's dropping off and this side's starting to turn up, all of a sudden you'll see Boeing hitting one-year highs, and this was the last time, like 2 years ago, that it was hitting one-year highs. So pretty meaningful change in the trend for Boeing. So I like that. You can see that the full stochastic continued to stall around the 50 level and just stayed in a big bear market here. And now it looks to me like it's going to do the opposite. It's going to come down to 50 and bounce off it, which is what we saw in the bull market that it had earlier. Boeing was a really strong stock in terms of the scooter ranking. It was holding up very well above 75. And then it's become one of the weaker stocks out there. I like the fact that it ran up, pulled back, and now looks like it's ready to get started again. So Boeing looks very good to me. CAE Industries. Now, there's different ways to play the airline sector right now, but CAE makes training simulators so that pilots can learn how to fly all the different planes that are out there, and their simulators just mean you don't have to take to the air to teach everybody. More importantly, though, with all of the changes on the MAX and on some of the protocols for flying the planes, this is a really nice breakout as Boeing is hitting new 52-week highs or very close to it. This stock actually made new 52-week highs to start the month. I like that. And then the simulators that they make are obviously needed just in terms of changing over all the old pilots and the new pilots as they come in. So with the increase in orders in the MAX, plus the old the changes that they had to make to some of their other systems, I think CAE is set up here to really get some simulator demand, and we should look towards this stock for a possible breakout. The relative strength is also making new one-year highs here, so that's another improvement that I like. The scooter ranking is showing up very high, up in the 90s. So what's not to like? The really nice trend here. And the PPO had run up hard. Looks like it's trying to turn back up above zero. That's a really good look on this. So particularly like the shape of this chart. Looking at Cintas, Cintas is really interesting for a couple of reasons, and I want to just reflect back quickly on the timing. So first of all, the stock is typically a top performer. It's been above 75% many times over the last 3 years, and I think it's just about to take its next rip and get back up there. But what we see on Cintas was it had broken out to new highs in July, big surge to new highs, and then ran up nicely from 300 to 370, pulled back gently, and now looks to me bouncing off the 40-week moving average. So while everything else on the reopening trade started to click on November 1st or November 9th when the first Moderna vaccine was talked about in Pfizer, all of a sudden this thing took off and then gently pulled back. Since then, it's basically been consolidating, and I particularly like the fact that it found support at this 320 level. It's been holding in here for 6 months, and it looks to me like we're just getting set up for the next surge. PPO downtrending slightly, coming back to the zero level. Want to see this turn up right away, but the full stochastic to me had been below 50, came down to 0 or to 20, bouncing up, and now looks to me to be turning up at the 50 level, which again I like. So lots of things on the chart are interesting, but we are in a small downtrend or consolidation trend, and a breakout to the upside would be something I'd be looking for. Again, out of a name that performs well many years, or performs well almost every year. Citigroup. So Citigroup, driving down the road the other day, and there was an analyst, and he was very critical of the company, and they should be doing this and this and this. And I can't help but think, it's so nice to be an analyst and you have nobody to report to. You don't have to worry about the jobs you're replacing or displacing. But you can have a strong opinion on the stock, and if I could only tell these management teams what to do. Anyway, Citigroup just happens to be getting a new female CEO this week, and she starts March the 1st, so she's kicking it off. There's a few things on the chart that are hinting at some pretty interesting stuff. So first of all, Scooter ranking moving above 75, and again the financials look like they're all starting to turn up together, so this is one of the reasons I wanted to pick something that was actually starting to improve. And Citigroup here is now making new 52-week highs in relative strength. That's very bullish. Full stochastic up at 80, can stay up here for a long period of time. The stock is just breaking out above major resistance. So what we saw was in the fall of 2019, it had just started to move, and then COVID hit and it pulled back down, consolidated for a year, and now it looks like it's ready to run. The PPO momentum indicators at 3-year highs looks very good, and obviously lots of interest in the stock in terms of the volume, so able to trade it. Last pick, probably one that not on most people's radar, but WestRock, S&P 500 company. We could see that for the Scooter ranking, it was down pretty weak for a long period of time. Looked like it was going to start to take off before COVID, pulled back, and then the stock started to outperform in here, got up into the top 25% of the large caps, and then pulled back down, and it looks to me like the Scooter ranking is about to reemerge, bouncing off the 50% level, so I like that. I would like the relative strength to start to improve, but any sort of improvement, and all of a sudden we're looking at multi-year highs here on relative strength. So I think that's nice. The other thing, if you look across here, call it the $42 level, the stock has been trying to consolidate above that, so it broke out, spent basically since the reopening trade started in November, going sideways, and now looks like it's ready to accelerate. So again, a lot of things got rotated to the side while we kind of jumped on the new bandwagon, and this one is just consolidated here. I think it's ready to pop to the upside, so it looks nice that way. On the PPO, gentle pullback here, but this would be the first turn up above zero on the 3-year history of the chart, so that would be very bullish, suggesting to me a big trend change. All of those things look pretty nice. Lastly, just wanted to let you know, if you're interested in any of the stuff over at gregschnell.com, the Schnell Strength Index is currently at 36%, suggesting that overall the markets are getting weaker as we go forward here. So I'm a little bit surprised by that based on the vaccinations and all that, but that's what the underlying data says to me. If you'd like more information or would like to try out one of the memberships over at gregschnell.com, head over and use gregschnell.com/daily5, and we'll set up the price for you at $4.97 for the year. Have a good week, good trading, and stay safe. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Hey guys, Dave Keller here with StockCharts.com. Thanks so much for watching our video. If you enjoyed it, and we hope you did, hit the like button right below. Also, we have so much new content every day. Consider subscribing to the channel. Just hit the subscribe button in the video or right below. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Have a fantastic day.